Hello guys, welcome to another complete tutorial for beginners, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to use Adobe Photoshop for complete beginners. So this video is going to be very helpful. So if you've been looking forward to learning Photoshop and you don't know where to go, this is the right channel for you, because I'm going to explain step by step on how you can use Photoshop. So all I'm asking for you is to just drop a like to this video, comment down below, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And take notes, there are important links in the description below according to everything that I'm going to be saying in this video, so make sure you check that out. And without more ado, let's get started. Alright guys, here we are in Photoshop and I'm your tutor, Heston the Quickest. So first of all, what is Adobe Photoshop? Alright, a quick definition over here. Adobe Photoshop is an image creation, graphic design and photo editing software developed by Adobe. So that's just short and simple. So here is how it looks like if you're opening Photoshop for the first time. And I'm currently using Photoshop CC 2022. Although right now that I'm recording this video, we already have 2023, 2024 and even more. So for now, I'm currently using Photoshop CC 2022. So if you want to get Photoshop, the links are in the description below to get Photoshop, and let's dive in. So first of all, you have this is how it looks like. You can see over here. So if you've been working on other files, and you're going to see them here obviously, because those are the recent files that we have been working on. But for now, there's no recent file, so we're going to start everything afresh. So first of all, how to create a new document in Photoshop. You can see here new file. Of course, you can see new file here. So we can see open as well. So open means that you want to open an already existing image or Photoshop document. All right, but in this video we are going to start with creating a new document first. So you can either click on the new file over here, or you go to file menu over here and you tap new. All right, you can also use shortcuts, that is Ctrl+N. And talking about shortcuts, to make your work easier and faster, you have to use shortcuts. So I have an ultimate shortcut bible over here, so make sure you check it out, link in the description below. And in this shortcut bible, you have lists of software like Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, a lot more. Okay, so don't forget to check that out, link in the description below. All right, you can use shortcut Ctrl+N on your keyboard, but for me I will just go with this one. Just tap on new file. So new file, and you can see the new document is here, and these are the preset details. All right, so let's go under print, and under the print you're going to see this document size. These are the preset sizes already. So or some of you might recognize this A4, A5, all of these. So I'm just going to select A4, but that does not mean that I'm going to use A4 document. All right, so let me show you how to customize your details to your taste. Okay, so guys, this is where you put the name of your document. I'm just going to write there Photoshop Day 1. All right, that's it. Let me start it with a capital later. All right, now we have the width and the height. All right, so the width is how wide it is and the height is how tall it is. All right, so these are the width and height. But before you put the width and height, make sure you put your units of measurement. Some people can measure very well using pixels. I mean, if you want to measure in pixels, you can put pixels over here. If you want to measure in millimeters, centimeters, you have them over here. But for me, I'm most familiar with centimeters, and sometimes I use pixels as well, but I'm just going to select centimeters. All right, so if you're using centimeters, I'm just going to create a document of my choice. Let's say 20 by 20 centimeters as well, so that I want it to be like a square document. All right, so now that's it. So we have the orientation over here. The orientation is like you have the portrait mode, you have the landscape mode, and we also have what we call artboard over here. If I check this box, you're gonna see artboard. If you check this box, means that you want to add more than one canvas. All right, so we're going to go into that, but for now I just want to go with one artboard. All right, so resolution. For the resolution, we are going to use 300. Resolution will determine the number of pixels in your document. All right, pixels might seem a little bit complicated, but pixels are those little boxes that makes up an image in Photoshop. So if there is 300 is good quality, if it's 150 can be also a better quality but lower. If it's 72 or even lower, the quality will be very different. So we're going to check that example later on in this video. All right, for now I'm using 300. All right, so pixels per inch, I'll leave it that way. Then for color mode, we have bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMYK, and lab color. But for me, I mostly use these two colors, RGB and CMYK. RGB simply stands for red, green, and blue, and RGB is suitable for web, like anything you design for your screens alone, while CMYK is suitable for printing. So this is because the printer uses a CMYK color mixture: C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, and K for black. So I mean, you're wondering why K is for black. Of course, K is for black because black is a key color. All right, so I'm going to use RGB over here, and everything else I will leave it like this. Working RGB, sRGB, let's leave it like this. And square pixels, I'm going to leave it like this as well. All right, now the background content, I want my background to come in white. You can decide for it to come in black or any other color, but I mean white is okay. So make sure it's white. And after that, that's pretty much everything you need to get started. You tap on create. Alright guys, our document is being created. As you can see over here, this is how the Photoshop interface looks like. Alright, so quickly we have the menu bar over here. This is where we can find our menus in Photoshop. As you can see, is a file menu. Anything that has to do with a file, it has it over here: edit, image, layers, and so on. All right, so the next one is we have the toolbar over here. So the toolbar is a panel that has different tools in Photoshop. All right, so and next we have the option bar over here. The option bar, when you select a tool, it's going to show you options. That means quick configurative settings for that particular tool. For example, if I select this tool under, you can see the option changes. You see, so it means that if I select this tool now and I want to make a quick adjustment to the tools, I can just come on the option bar and quickly do that. All right, here is the document tab. As you can see, this is the name of our document, Photoshop Day 1 at 33.3%. that's the amount of zoom level. If I zoom out again, you can see it reduces. So you now have RGB/8 8. All right, that means we use RGB color mode. If you are using CMYK color mode, you will show you CMYK over here. And this X icon is to close the document. All right. So if you have more than one document, you are going to definitely have more than one document tabs. All right. Now we have other panels over here. We have the layers panels, most importantly, and we're going to see how that works later on in this video. So hope you are enjoying the video so far. If you are doing just that, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and like this video as well. So these are panels over here, as you can see. So any panel that is missing over here, you can always go to window menu and you're going to select it to bring it back over here. For example, these are layers panel over here. If I go to window menu and uncheck the layers panel, it's going to disappear from here. All right, so quickly we are going to go to window and workspace. So workspace, as you can see, essential is a default. So if you have 3D, graphic and motion, painting and photography. So if you're only focusing on photography alone, you can change the workspace to only for photography. As you can see, you can have all the quick settings for your photography, edit. But I always like to use essential because essential has everything in one, and it's good to learn with essential because that's the default. And with essential, you're going to master where all your tools are. Understand what I'm saying? So let's go to workspace. As you can see, I've closed this, and this is how it works. If I mistakenly shake the panels over here, that means I misplaced them. And see, I can always get it back. All right, I just go to window menu, workspace, and I tap on reset essentials. All right, that's it. So if you're someone who likes to customize your workspace, for example, you want to move the toolbar over here, and you want to move all of these over here, you can still do that. All right, so when you just move them, you want to pin it here, so you just come to this, and when you see that blue line, you leave it and the thing will clip there. All right, this one as well, you go further, and when you see a blue line, you clip it there. All right, so it depends on your preference. All right, so if you mistakenly disrupt this document tab, and you can see something like this, all you need to do is to drag it and clip it back. That's all. So let's go and reset our workspace. So if I go to window, I go to workspace, and I can tap on reset essentials, and everything will be reset to its original form. All right, so and next we have the rulers over here. As you can see, these are the ruler guides. So if your rulers are not showing, just press Ctrl R on your keyboard, and it's going to activate your rulers. So with these rulers, I can simply make guides. For example, I come over here, drag and drop a guide over here. For example, drop it on 200 over here, and I can also drop another guide over here. So I do this this is essential for beginners. For example, if you're just starting on graphic design and you don't want to, you know, mistakenly put information outside this, so you can just set your own margin by, you know, bringing out these guides, of course. So it can be good as well. So if you don't want to see the guide, just go to view menu, go to show, and you uncheck the guides. So next we are going to see how to import images in Photoshop. So first of all, go to file menu and you go to place embedded. All right, if you click on place embedded, it's going to open your file explorer if you're using Windows, or your Finder application if you're using Mac OS, and you're going to select the image or document of your choice. But for place embedded, we only import images, of course. This is my file explorer, and these are the things I want, some of the things I want to import. All right, so I'm just going to select this. I want this to be like the background. I'm going to select this and tap on place. So if I tap on place, you can see it comes like this with this somehow X icon. So I'm gonna just come over here, automatically click and drag it up to resize it. I want it to fill the background. All right, so the background is being filled. Either I can press enter on my keyboard to validate this, or I can just click over here to validate it. All right, now let's see how to customize the interface a little bit. So this part is always kind of dark gray. If you want to change the color, you can always right click and you say choose black. You can also right click, choose dark gray, see, or you can select a custom color. For me, I love purple a lot, so I just going to select purple, and that's it. So it's according to your customization preference. So I'm just going to leave it at default, and this is my background. Now that takes us to the layers panel. So on the layers panel, I'm going to resize this. Let me adjust it a little bit. So before I forget, this is called the canvas. All right, this is called the canvas. So this is where we work on. All right, so this is the layers. Anything that is on the canvas is definitely on the layers. So this is the layers over here. As you can see, this image, this is an image over here, and it's showing over here. So if I have a bunch of stuff on the layers, like we have a lot of things like opacity, fill, we have this eye icon over here, and lots more. All right, so if I want to toggle off the visibility of this particular layer, I'm just going to tap here. Of course, it's going to toggle it off. So if I want to do this for this as well, I'm just going to do this. As you guys can see, that's it. So yeah, I'm going to bring back the background, and I'm going to bring back the image as well. If I want to reduce the opacity, select it, come to opacity and reduce opacity, or you can still reduce the fill as well. You can see they are very similar, they're almost the same thing. So that's it for the layers. If I want to lock this background, let's say this is the white background, but I don't like white background, I just want to put a custom background of my choice. All right, I'm just going to select this and then tap on this padlock icon. All right, so over here you have a lot of things. We have new layer, for this icon stands for create a new layer. If I click on it, you can see we have a new empty layer over here. If I want to delete layer, I'm just going to tap on delete layer. That's it. So after that, let me create 2 new layers as well. So we have 2 empty new layers over here. So for example, if we import another image, the image is going to come on top, for example. So if I want to bring the image below, I'm just going to drag it below. Don't worry, we're going to try it with an image and you're going to see it. So I'm just going to push it up a little bit. So how to select different layers at once? All right, I'm going to hold Control, select this one. So what if you have 100 layers? Let me create multiple layers, for example. So does it mean I have to select this one and hold Control, select this one to the top? No. If I want to select all of them from here to the top, so we have about 100 layers, just come and select the last one. I hold Shift, I go and select the first one. So automatically it will select everything in between. All right, so that's just it. Now to delete layer, remember, is this to delete layer. That's it. To group layers, I can select this one, hold Shift, select this other one, and I tap on this group icon. All right, it's going to group them. So group 1. So the next thing is, so how can I rename layers? For example, all of this thing that I'm grouping is text. So to rename layer, you just double click on the text of the layer, double click on it, and rename it to text. So that's it. After that, you press enter. So you can see that. So that's how to rename layers, group layers, create a new layers, and also delete a new layers. So for now, I'm going to delete this group over here. As you can see, it asks me to if I want to delete just the group or the group and content. I want to delete the group and content, of course. All right, that's it. Now let's see how to use some tools. So first of all, we have the move tool over here. If I right click on the tool, that's it. You can see other additional tools. So any tool that has this little triangle below means that there are additional tools under that particular tool. All right, so sometimes if I just hover on my Photoshop tool, it's going to show me what it does. So the move tool, the shortcut is press V on your keyboard and it's going to automatically select the move tool. For example, let me select another tool, for example, and I press V on my keyboard. You can see automatically it selects the move tool. So that's why I say that shortcuts makes your life easier and it makes you work faster. So if you want to get a shortcut Bible, check it out, link in the description below. The first one is move tool. Move tool moves a selection or a layer. So let us try to import another image again. So for example, go to File, Place Embedded, and I import this particular image and I tap on Place. So don't worry, all these images will be linked down in the description below. I'm going to resize it and I validate it. So with the move tool, I can be able to move it around and I can also be able to resize the image. All right, let's see how to do that. So with the move tool selected, I select this particular image and I can be able to move it around, as you can see. So you can see this knot over here. I don't know if that's the correct name to call it, but I call it the transform controls over here. This is about let's see over here. So normally, if you're opening Photoshop or installing Photoshop for the first time, some of these things will be unchecked. This toolbox, for example. So you're just going to be able to move the item or the layer, all right, but you're not going to be able to resize it. So all you need to do is to make sure that these two auto select and show transform controls are checked always. All right, so sometimes your version of Photoshop might not show auto select text over here, but you're going to see icons that look similar. Just try to click and check both of them. You're going to be able to move the object around and also resize it. So resizing, I'm using Photoshop CC 2022, so I can just come to the edge here and I click and I resize. Okay, can resize. So if I want to resize from the middle, I'm gonna hold out on my keyboard. You can see resizes from the middle. Okay, so after resizing, I'm just gonna stop validate it over here. So the next tool is the selection tool. So actually we have another tool called the artboard tool over here, but it's because we are not using artboard. All right, let's try to use artboard and see. If you go to file menu, create a new document, just choose a random details and you check this artboard and you tap on create. You can see it comes artboard 1. All right, so if I want to create multiple artboards, I just select this artboard 1 and press Ctrl J on my keyboard. Ctrl J. As you can see, we now have, just zoom out. So to zoom out, you're going to use Ctrl minus to zoom out and Ctrl plus to zoom in. All right, if you have a mouse, you just hold out in your keyboard and you scroll your mouse wheel up to zoom in and down to zoom out while still holding out on your keyboard. All right, so we have 3 artboards over here, and with the artboard tool I can be able to select each artboard. If I select this one, I can be able to select it and just press delete key on my keyboard. I can select this particular artboard just with the artboard tool, sorry, and I can be able to add additional artboards over here. Where it is plus over here, I can just click. It's going to add a new artboard by the side. I'm going to add a new artboard at the top. As you can see, that's it. So that's all about artboards. So while using artboard might seem a little bit complicated, but I prefer you just start working with this one for now. So let me not save it. So if I close this document, and you can see save changes to Adobe Photoshop document before closing. If you want to save it, make sure you tap on yes. If you don't want to save it, tap no. All right, take note, if you tap no, it's not going to save it. All right, so that's it. So first of all, I'll always love saving my document while working, because sometimes something might just happen and you lost the document. So just watch this video to the end and I'm going to show you how to export your images at the end of the day. So the next tool we are going to use is the selection tool. So this tool is used for selection. Of course, this is a rectangular marquee tool. All right, now let's try something new. All right, let's open a new image. So we'll go to file and tap on open. So let me use this image for example. I'm going to open it on its own document. You can see it comes in its own size. All right, so this is a selection tool. Of course, the move tool can also select, of course, but these ones are the selection tools. Let's try the rectangular marquee tool. All right, if I select this portion for example, as you can see, it's on the background and we can unlock the background. Okay, now if I select this portion for example and I delete it, that portion is going to be empty. As you can see, it's empty. So if I want to this, I call it the matching ant. This thing, I call it matching ant because, for example, let me remove it. I'm going to show you how to remove it as well. If I select this portion, you can see this ant only match around this portion. It does not go elsewhere, of course. So it means that this is the only portion I selected. All right, so if I can do anything that I want with this option and with this part, and it's not going to affect other part of my image. All right, so I'm going to select this portion and I'm going to delete it. So as you can see, this is empty. All right, let me press Ctrl D to remove it. Of course, this is empty. We've seen it, that's empty. So this is the same method that we use in cropping out our background. So cropping background simply means removing unwanted part from an image and keeping the wanted part. All right, so don't worry, I'm going to show you that as well. Now let me just use the elliptical marquee tool. I select this portion by holding shift. If I hold shift, the circle will be even. If I don't hold shift, this is how it's going to be. All right, I'm going to hold shift, increase it like this. As you can see, that's it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and if I right click, I'm going to see deselect, select inverse, feather, all of this. So feather is going to make the edges to be blurred. All right, if the feather radius is 5 point, or let me put 7.7 for example, and tap OK. And if I delete, Ctrl D, and if I zoom in, you can see that I'm fixing it. The edges are blurred, unlike these other ones. All right, So I was talking about pixels earlier. So if let's zoom this image completely, as you can see, we are going to zoom in the image. All right, and at the end you're going to see bunch of boxes that makes up this image. So these are called pixels. All right, so for example, let's go and do an experiment. If I go to image menu, I go to image size and resolution is 72. Let's say I raise the resolution to 5 and I tap, I just wait for it to load and I tap OK. All right, so that's what I was talking about resolution earlier in the video. As you can see, this is it. The image is now pixelated. Have you seen it? Because it lacks more pixels. All right, so resolution is like adding more pixels to your image. All right, I hope I did not get that. I did not put it in a very hard way. All right, that's it about the selection tool. So when we are going to crop this image, we are going to use the selection tool to select the part that we don't want and we're going to remove them. So to undo, Ctrl Z. To undo, Ctrl Z. So let's go back to our other tab. So now let's talk about the quick selection tool. Okay, now as you can see, I want to crop this image. I want to remove the background, but I am opening it in a new document. So what if I want to crop the background in this particular document? All right, let me hide this one for now. I go to place embedded and I open this same image over here. Okay, and I validate. So for example, the lasso tool is still the selection tool. It's same as this other one, just that the lasso tool, if your hands is pretty shaky, you know that it's not going to be good. All right, let me deselect. So we also have the polygonal lasso tool. Means that one you can use it to select this image manually. You can just come and click, as you can see, just follow the path of the image. You click again here, you click again. You know, this one is quite a long process. All right, it's a very long process, but if this is what you want it to be as accurate as possible, you go ahead and do it patiently. All right, so if I want to go back, I press delete, not Ctrl Z. Delete will make it to go back. All right, so if I want to complete it, I have to come and join it where I started it. All right, you can see. So if I delete that portion, it says could not complete your request because the smart object is not directly editable. Okay, so this is a smart object. How can we make it directly editable? All we need to do is to right click here on your layers and tap on rasterize layer. So rasterize layer, as you can see, if I tap on delete, it's going to delete that portion and I'm going to see what is behind, which is this background. All right, so we are going to crop this image in another document. Just that means we just open it, use the open method. We'll just open it in this document like this. All right, and then we remove the background and then we save it as a PNG. PNG simply means portable network graphics. There are those sort of images that don't come with a background. All right, so we are going to see that in a second. Now I'm going to do a full tutorial on how to use all these Photoshop tools. Although as a designer, it's not all of these tools that you're going to use. All right, but I'm going to make a tutorial that will explain how to use all of these tools. All right, so let's move over to the quick selection tool. We also have the magic wand tool. They are all selection tools. So object selection tools, let's just start with that one first. So it's used to select an object. For example, if there's a book here, you want to just select the book, you can go ahead and select it. Now before we move to that, let's go back to the rectangular marquee tool. So this is on the option bar. Take note of the option bar. Okay, if I make a selection like this, you can see it's only select this other part. So what if I want to add to this selection? So I can come here and add, and if immediately I come to a new place to add it, the first one disappears. So if you don't want that, you just come up here. The first option is the new selection. The second option is add to selection. The third option is subtract from selection, and the fourth option is intersect with selection. So if I want to add to this selection, I can just tap on select add to selection. So it means that with this I can come and add another one and it's going to be added. All right, that's what I mean. If I want to subtract, I cannot come and subtract this one or subtract it like this. All right. So if I unlock the background now and I delete, you can see only that part will be gone. So I'm just going to undo by pressing Ctrl Z as usual. Ctrl D on your keyboard to deselect, or you can just right click on the selection and just select deselect. So if I want to fill this with a color, just come to fill and you choose color. You choose a color, any color of your choice, and you tap OK and you validate here as well. So it's going to fill that place with a color. If you deselect it, this color is now part of the image, or as you can see. So I'm going to undo this. Now let's go ahead and use a quick selection tool. Quick selection tool, for example, okay, this is object selection tool, sorry. So if I want to select an object, for example, I want to select this guy over here, I just move to quick selection tool. For example, the Photoshop I'm using is quite advanced, and I don't know about yours, but let me just select this for you over here. And after that, you just wait for it to load, and the artificial intelligence, okay, it says could not find an object to select. All right, if I just make a click here, it shows blue because of program error. Okay, so but if an object is here and you want to select, just highlight it and it's going to select that object. So guys, let's go ahead and work with the quick selection tool. So with the quick selection tool, you come over here and you increase the size. All right, then you reduce the hardness. All right, for example, if the hardness is at 100%, it means that the edges of your selection will be very sharp. But if your hardness is 0, it means that the edges of your selection will not be very sharp. Okay, so make sure that caps lock is not activated on your keyboard. So if it is, just press caps lock again and it's going to turn to this. All right, so increase the size again, and all right, that's it. So we still have those options: new selection, add to selection, and subtract from selection. So I'm just going to select add to selection, and I'm going to just click and select this background. As you can see, just gonna add it here. It does not select it very well, which is it's not good. I mean, so Ctrl D to deselect. I just wanted to select this background and then I remove it from this image. All right, but since that one is not working, let's try another one. So I'm not always a fan of the quick selection. Let me use the magic one too. Since this background is a plain background, just make a click and it will select the plain background. And if you zoom in, you can see that this other part is not perfect. Have you seen it? Just that part is not perfect. So all you need to do, we just have to try to adjust it in our own possible way. So as you can see, it's not perfect. Let me say, if we unlock this layer and we delete it and we Ctrl D, you can see that this part is rough, very rough. All right, so which is not good. So normally, after selecting with the magic wand tool, we can still go back to the lasso tool and we are going to say subtract from selection. We're going to keep it on subtract from selection. So that means that this other part is selected and we're just going to remove this part manually. No, that's it. Manually. You can see we are subtracting from the selection. Okay, that's it. So it's good to take your time to do anything you want to do in Photoshop so that you get a good result. So this other part, I don't know, this part is not really important, so we're just going to, if you cannot use this lasso tool very well, just go ahead with the polygonal lasso tool. So with this you can be more comfortable. All right, so let's just remove this, for example. So for the eyebrow, I'm not going to waste my time to really go in detail. Oh, am I removed from selection? Okay, I should even add to selection. Sorry, oops, my bad. All right, that's it. So after that, let's smoothen the edges a little. Okay, we still have this rough part. So for you, since you're just starting out Photoshop, it's good to take time and make your work as perfect as possible. All right, so you can join it. You can select it like this, and after selecting, and roll it down, or you can hold the space bar and push it up, release the space bar, hold the space bar, push it up. And if you cannot find where you started, just double click and it's going to automatically join it for you. So after that, we are going to make sure that the edges are smooth as possible. So go to select and marks over here. You can see this tool is selected. Select and marks on top here, and over here you can see that's the image over here. So just make sure that you increase the smooth a little bit and you increase the feather just a little bit, and after that you press enter and it's smoothing it at least. So we're going to tap delete. We have deleted the background. All right, that's it. We have deleted the background successfully. And even with that, we can still see some other parts over here which is not really good. So we can still use the lasso tool to try to remove this part. We will not go in detail because that's the hair. Just delete it. So just try to adjust it to your taste. But I'm going to show you a quick way to actually remove background in a twinkle of an eye in Photoshop. So let's undo everything that we have done, and I just wanted to show you the hard way and this is the easiest way. So when you open your image in a new another document like this on its own, you go to window menu, you make sure properties is activated. Properties. So you scroll it down, make sure your image is selected, make sure it's always selected. Scroll down and you can see a quick actions over here. If you tap on remove background, it's going to remove the background in a snap of a finger. It just waits for you to do that for you. So you might remove the background and it might not be really perfect. So if it's not really perfect, I'm going to show you another way. Okay, the background is being removed. As you can see, it has tried its best, but even if it's not really perfect, we don't have an issue with that. So let me undo. That's a quick way. So let's tap on select subject. So this one will just create a selection of the subject, which means that you can modify it later to your taste. All you need to do is to choose any of the lasso tool. As you can see, it selects this image, right? Select that image alone. So make sure it's on add to selection, and all you need to do is to come and highlight it like this, to add to the selection. All right, see this part is not really good. Let's try to add this part a little bit. All right, so take your time to do it, and after that you still go to the select and marks option over here, click on it, increase the smooth and the feather, and you press enter on your keyboard to validate everything. Just press enter or you press OK down there. So after selecting your image very well, you come over here below and tap on the add layer marks. So as you can see, your background is being removed successfully. All right, although the edges are quite smooth, but any method that is good by you is okay. You can see that the background is still there, but it's hidden. As you can see, that's why we have the layer marks. So if we select these marks now, we select the brush tool. For example, we increase the brush size over here, and we can increase the hardness of the brush. Now, if this is the foreground and the background color, if you click on the foreground and make it white, and you tap OK, and you start brushing on the image, it means that you want to review the background. Because it's a mark, just marks in the background for you. It means that you can decide to change your mind later. So if the foreground is black, it means that you want to erase it, as you can see. But that's just it. You can do that with the brush tool, and is there in my other tutorial, so you make sure you check it out as well. Now go to file. When we need to save this, so first of all, let's see how to use this crop tool. So with the crop tool, this is similar to the crop tools you have in your phone. So you just crop this part, That's it. Just validate over here. There you go. So this is our image that we have successfully removed the background. So we can go to file menu, we can save it as a PSD Photoshop document, and which means that if you want to open it next time as PSD, you're going to open it and everything will be intact. For example, let's first of all save it as PSD, sorry. So I'm going to rename it remove BG background and save as type. You can see PSD over here and tap on save. It's going to save below here. You can see it's complete, and we need to save it as PNG, right? Go to file. You can decide to export and export as, but for me, I like using save as a copy. So save as a copy, you have save as type, you choose PNG. If you want to save it as a picture, you choose JPEG, but let's try saving it as a JPEG first. Tap save, and it's going to ask us some few questions. Make sure it's on baseline standard and is on large file over here. You can see 990 kilobyte. All right, not bad. That's just tap on OK. And it's going to save. It's done saving, so save as another copy. You can choose another format. So if you want to save as JPEG twice, it might ask you to replace, but if you don't want to replace, you can adjust the name by removing something like this. But if it's another format, it will not really disturb you. So PNG means that you will save it without the background. All right, let's tap on save, and okay, that's it. When it's done saving, we can decide to close this document because we are pretty much done with it. So let's import the images here. All right, go to file menu, go to place embedded, and let's import this first one. As you can see, this one we save it as JPEG, and it comes with another white background because JPEG does not save without background. All right, it comes in a white background, and that's it. So we're just going to delete it. We don't need it. So go to file. We have go to place embedded, and let's go with the one that is a PNG. All right, there you go. As you can see, this is it. So it comes without a background, means that you can actually place it somewhere here, write your text over there, and there you go. So I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and if you're doing that, just don't forget to like this video, comment down below your thoughts, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. So that's it. That is it. And next we are going to see how to do other stuff. So quickly, there you go about this. I'm just going to close everything, and let's create a new document. So I'm going to choose, go to print. I'm going to head over to print and choose this letter. I change it to centimeters and I change it to landscape. Then I rename it first design in Photoshop. First design in Photoshop. All right, so these are my preset details, pretty much what I used earlier. So let's tap on create. Now we have our canvas over here, so let's import the background. So select this background, I resize it, and I validate. So I want to lock the background, just tap on this. Now the next thing, if you don't want to add additional background, you can decide to add a background in Photoshop. So you just come over here, go to solid color, and you can add any custom color as your background. All right, so let's add something like this, for example. That's it. So you might decide to add a gradient instead. Just see gradient. Gradient is just a combination of multiple colors. All right, so you go under basics, you select the black and white, this particular one. Let's start from there for now. So all you need to do is to click here, and this black, this is it, the white part, this is it. So double click on the black stops and you put a particular color. Let's say I put this blue color, for example. Push it up here so that you can see the blue color, and I tap OK. Then on this other side, double click and I put a lighter blue color. All right, and I click OK. So I now have a gradient color, which means a combination of this dark blue color and this other light one. All right, I'm going to tap on new to save this particular gradient of my choice. So this is saved here. I'm going to tap OK. I'm going to tap OK. This is the scale. You can channel, you can decide the angle that it's facing. You can decide the style, radial, you can use the radial, and we also have reverse. Have you seen it? We also have the scale. So that's it. So if you're satisfied with this, you can as well click OK. And there we go. So that's how to add custom background in Photoshop without necessarily importing a new background. So let's leave this one. Let me just lock it. And we're going to import the image that we cropped earlier, and we're going to see how to create a simple design and how to add other elements to it and how to export as well. So stick to the end of this video. Okay guys, we head over to File menu and we're going to import this image. I'm going to place the image over this way. So let me place it up here. All right. Now we're going to place this image here and we're going to write back to school. So this is the image here. Remember, we have used this tool, we have used all of these tools, we have used a crop tool. So if you want to expand this, you can actually come here, expand it. Okay. If you tap validate it, it's going to expand. So if you need more space, you can adjust this guy over here. So that's it. And we also have a lot of tools. Don't worry, I'm going to make another tutorial that I will explain most of these tools to you. And who knows, in future I might make a bigger Photoshop course. All right, so we have tested the brush tool, and let's check out the pen tool. The pen tool, remember, I have a tutorial about the pen tool that will guide you. All right, let's say we want to draw a little some fancy designs over here. So with the pen tool selected, come over here, make sure it's on shape. All right, this is a fill, this is a stroke. All right, so for now, select the fill and tap on no fill. So the stroke, you can leave it on black. All right, so come zoom out and come outside here, just make a click, just one click, one. All right, you come inside somewhere here, you click and you drag. Understand? You click, you hold and you drag. All right, then over here you click outside here and you go and join it where you started. All right, then for now we can add a different color here. Who knows, we can add a different stroke color here, and the stroke is 1px. We can increase the stroke size. Oh no, okay, that's cool, that's cool. So that's how to use a pen tool, see, to draw amazing shapes like this. All right, let's try one more time. So we can click outside here, inside here, click and you drag, you click here, that's it. You insert a color. You might decide to insert another color on the stroke, or you might decide not to. Okay, so that's our shape using the pen tool. So let's make it a little bit fancy. All right, so this shape, press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Ctrl J. You can see we now have two shapes, shape 1 and shape 1 copy. All right, so this is the first shape and this is the second shape. All right, this one is in front, as you can see, that one is in front, and this shape, I'm going to select it on the shape. This is a shape layer thumbnail. Double click here and you make it darker, make a color darker a little bit, and you tap OK. So you can actually bring it down here. You can see. So with the smooth tool selected, you can come to the edges, but instead of resizing, you could see the arrow will be like this. You just rotate it, as you can see. So that's it there. We now have a fancy design. How does that feel? Okay, now the fancy design covers this child a little bit, which is not bad. As you can see, instead of it just being empty like that, it just covers. Okay, now select both of them. You group, you rename the group shapes. All right, you can actually lock it so that you will not distract your work. All right, when it's locked, you cannot be able to push it easily. Now we move over to the text tool. Very important tool. The text tool, this is it over here. Horizontal type tool. All right, so just come here, make a click, just one click, and actually it's going outside. So after making a click, you can just come below here, and the cursor is going to turn to this, and you just drag it a little bit inside. All right, so I'm just going to write here back. I don't know if that's all in capital letters. Okay, remember, let's use the quickest sans. That's my font created by me. The quickest sans. Make sure you check it, link in the description below. Back to school. So the back, I'm just going to use white. All right, that's back. So two, I'm just going to, okay, let's see, that's a font there. That's a font there. So I'm going to highlight, to edit the font. Just can come here and double click. It's going to highlight the font and make it editable. Back to school. Back to school. Or we can put our insertion point here, tap enter. It's going to bring it to the next line. So you highlight, oops, the space here. Okay, let's just start typing it from the beginning. Back, press enter, TO. So over here, this is a character panel. We have the name of the font. The font is just a regular font, the size of the font, the space between each lines. All right, so let me put automatic. That's it. This one is a space between each character. That's why you can see a lot of space like that. All right, so we're going to put it -40 something. You can leave it at 0, but let me push it again. Okay, back to school. So back, that's the quickest sans. So I might decide to use another font. Let's do something else for now. Highlight everything. This is bold, make it thicker. This is italize. This is all caps, make it capitalize. You can see this one is low, you can see. Underline, strike through. So when you select, just let's just leave it like that. So highlight these two, and if we highlight these two, any effect that we add will only be applied to this one. For example, if we change the color to red, it only applies to that one. All right, so I will leave it on white, don't worry. And I highlight it, and I'm going to select a different font. So let's try to select another font. I can use better grade. All right, let me increase the size. It's like it's far away from the back, so I come over here, click and drag. See, to bring it closer. Back to, I'm going to put school under. All right, I don't know how that's looking so far. You might decide to use a different font, a different script font if you want to. And see, this one goes as well. Let me make it smaller. All right, back to, so school will be under here. So I'm just going to select the shape tool. These are the shape tools we can use to draw shapes. So I'm just going to use the rectangle tool. I draw another shape here. So this way I'm going to write school on top of this shape, so that it will not just be plain. All right, so I'll add a nice color here. Instead, I can add this color or any other darker color. I can even make it dark, something like that. All right, and I'm going to remove the stroke So you can see this is the first layer, text layer. I'm gonna select the text tool and write school. Character is quite small, increase it. All right, back to school. School, I'll write it in all capital letters. Back to school. All right, there you go. Using the quickest sounds, you can see that the school is under, below. So I'll just validate it for now. I push it above the rectangle. To push it, just click and drag up, and you can see when you see that blue line, just place it where you want to place it. All right, so let's continue editing this. Back to school. All right, not bad. Highlight it and make it bold. All right, not bad at all. That's actually cool. Back to school. As you can see, this guy is holding books, so he's even conveying the message that he's going back to school. All right, now you can see for the color adjustment, the boy is looking a little bit yellowish while the background is bluish. All right, I don't know if you've noticed that. Let me hide the background. Okay, if the background was just this, we could have go along with it. Have you seen it? This one is good as well. But with the grading background, the background is bluish, whereas the boy is yellowish. Okay, let's try to add an adjustment. So with this, select the image of the boy, come over here, and you have a bunch of things over here. We have brightness and contrast, levels, all of this. So let's go straight to color balance, right? Select color balance, and over here you clip this to the image alone. All right, clip this to the image, and since the background is blue, you push the slider to the blue side. First of all, have you seen it? Push the slider to the blue side, and maybe you can add a little magenta if you want to, but not too much. You can add a little cyan if you want to. You see it? So let's hide the adjustment layer. That's before and this after. So this is much better. I mean, that's how to match the color of the image with the background. So okay, quickly let's see how to add some effects to this back to school. Select the back to school text, you right click, go to blending options, and under blending option we have a bunch of things over here that we are not going to go through all of them in this video. So just select drop shadow. Under drop shadow, let me reset to default, right, so that we'll just follow along. This is opacity of the shadow. First of all, this is the distance of the shadow, this is the spread of the shadow, this is the size of the shadow. Have you seen it? So let me start with the size. If I increase the size, you can see it's blurry. Of course, if it's like this and I increase the distance, you can see it can go this way, and I can decide to change the angle here and it will change over there. So I'll leave it at 90, and I can see. If you want the shadow to be sharp, reduce the size and just increase the distance. See what I'm saying? So let's add the size a little bit. Back to, okay. Now the opacity of the shadow is too much, so we're going to reduce it a little bit. So that's actually how to add a drop shadow to your text. So you can also add it to images, but that's it for text. So we have outer glow. Let me reset to default as well. Outer glow, that's it. This is opacity first of all. This is the color. This is the size. Let me increase the size. Have you seen it? See, it's white. Let me change it to something like cyan. Cyan color is similar to that of the background. That's cyan. That's if I increase the size. And if I increase the opacity, there you go. So that's it. In case you want to add that, but I think I will do a tutorial that will explain all of this. But quickly, that's how to add some quick, quick style and effect to your text. I'm going to validate it now. I don't know how that looks, but for school, let's select this shape. Right click, blending option, and then we select drop shadow, and it applies the previous effect on this one as well. So on the shape, let's go extreme. Bevel and emboss, we're going to make the shape look a little bit classic. All right, I'll reset it to default. So the depth, I'm going to increase the depth. You can see it changes you can see it changes the size. Have you seen it? Something like that, but that's too harsh. Hey. So the gloss contour, okay. Opacity. Anyways, let's increase the size a little bit and see. Let's shadow mode. You can see the shadow is really, it's too much. Just reduce it and that's it. Okay, it's not really bad. You can just make it a little bit like that. So I'm not gonna go extreme on the tutorial. So that's it. Even with these shapes that we drew, these two shapes, let me unlock them. This first one, we can actually right click, go to blending option, and we can add our own drop shadow. If we add our drop shadow here, okay, that's our drop shadow. You can see. So let me cancel this. Okay, there you go. You might decide to add other elements to the background. Let me just import other elements. Place embedded. So since it's back to school, let's put something like this, for example. Okay, I guess we already imported that. Let's just put something like this. Put something like this up here. Or maybe we can just make it to just fly around. So if it's flying around, we're going to add some effect to it. Select it, filter, blur, and we're going to say motion blur because it's in motion. So you can change the angle to your preference here. It does not have to be visible, it's in motion. Alright, now that we are done with that, let's go ahead. Okay, import this other one, resize it like this, and okay, retouch it like this, and you validate. Go to filter, blur, and motion blur. This is okay, just press OK. Alright, that's it. So after you can place it like this, and you can decide to import something else like these little stars. Okay, you can increase this a little bit like this and place it up here. Oops, it looks a little bit lame. You might decide to get rid of it as well. So with all of this done, I hope you are enjoying the video so far. So we're going to see how to export this in Photoshop. First of all, you're going to export it as PSD, Photoshop document, which means that you can, when you want to open this document next time, you will still have all the layers over here. Okay, so let's head over to File menu, tap on Save, and over here PSD, Photoshop document. All right, so take note of this. So choose your location in your File Explorer and tap on Save. So it's saving over here, and when that is done, you come again, save as a copy, and save as type. We will now choose JPEG, of course. Tap on Save. So use the same setting, tap OK, and there you go. So tap on, if you want to save as PDF, go over here, tap on Save As. Here you select Photoshop PDF and you tap on Save. So over here you have high quality print, and you also have press quality, anyone you want to go with. So just tap on Save PDF. Alright, that's it. So if you want to go ahead and save, you can save it. But before that, I have something to tell you, just in case you want to save printable designs. Alright, so for example, if you're printing a document, if you want to print a document of, let's say, 1 meters upward, I know that that's very big, of course, so you have to be careful with the resolution you're using. All right, so anyway, let's just go ahead and create a new document. All right, go to File menu, go over to New, and over here I'm just going to say 300 width and 300 height. That is 3 meters by 3 meters. So if the resolution is 300, it's going to be very heavy. So let's just put let's say 25 and just create our document. So if we go to image menu, or go to image size, and under resolution you can see 25 resolution equals 24.9 megabytes of your image size. So let's change it to 300. As you can see, it's now 3.51 gig. So you can see you don't want that. So if you're using if you want to print a document of a big dimension like this, make sure that the resolution is small. And if the resolution if the width and height is small, then the resolution can be 300. So even you go ahead with this, it would take a long time before you can save, and it might even crash your computer. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.
Hello guys, thanks for sticking to the end of the video. We have finally reached the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please drop a like and drop a comment as well, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you want me to do feature videos like this, let me know in the comment section below, and see you in the next video. Adios.